Woo! We're here. Week 1, baby.
That music gets me pumped.
Maddie Daddy. What's up, guys? How we doing?
Fantastic. It is week 1. It's finally here. It's 6 months of prep work, and let's see if we did any good work.
I can't stop smiling. I'm just so excited to see what happens. Are we completely off base with all of our calls, or have we just nailed it all? I mean, I feel like we got Thursday's game pretty locked down. I think as a community, we really crushed that. So hopefully that's more to come.
Absolutely. What about you, Truly? How we doing, buddy?
Yeah, it's my first ever NFL season start. So it's. I feel the energy. I'm excited with my one lineup. I'll probably make a few right now, but I'm excited with my one lineup. I'm very excited.
Absolutely. I just set one. What about you, Dave? How many lineups you got going today?
I remember those days when I had just one lineup to worry about. I have about 15 lineups to worry about. Thank God for best ball, because everyone that knew that I wanted to draft, I was like, listen, I'm not joining any more leagues unless it's best ball. So I got in a few best balls at the end, but I got about 15 leagues, about 14 too many.
14
Yeah.
too many. Goodness.
It's always one of those you have the year where you go way too many leagues, and then you're like, I'm gonna cut down, and you cut down to kind of like the main ones, and then the following year you're like, you know what, I could handle a few more, and then it skyrockets back up to 10.
The problem is when you play Dynasty, it's a long-term commitment, and I'm a loyalist. I'm not someone to join a league and then dump it the year after.
Oh yeah.
So no mas for the Dynasty leagues.
I'll we'll have to get you on some season long in Dynasty after this year. Now that we're dipping your toe into the fantasy world, and
those things sound very intense. Those things sound way too intense for my liking.
Oh man, I'm just excited. There are so many good games that they've just kind of given us week 1. And so that's it's like Christmas morning. I mean, starting off with the Falcons-Eagles game. I mean, come on. That is just going to be a barn burner. I'm stoked on that one. The Arizona game, that's going to be so much fun to watch. They're giving us Green Bay, New Orleans right off the bat. They're giving us Kansas City Browns. I mean, come on.
We got Sam Darnold going against the Jets.
I am so excited to see Sam Darnold just light it up. And I never thought I would ever say that.
Yeah. And so when we get to that game, so yesterday I found myself, I went out on a limb for a guy in the Carolina and Jets game, and I got a lot of heat for it. So then, of course, a lot of questions, a lot of this and that, and said, listen, it's your team, man. If you want to play, I'll play my players, you play your players. Don't come at me if you win or lose. It's your decision to make that call. But I feel strongly that the Jets secondary is going to be someone you can target the entire season. They have very poor number 1 and number 2 corners. If somebody goes down, they're going to have undrafted players lining up on the sides. It's not going to be a pretty picture. Then on top of it, their third corner is at best a 5th-round pick. Terrace Marshall's going to eat him up. And Terrace Marshall's a guy I'm extremely high on. I know he's a rookie. I get it. But they run 3 and 4 receiver sets in Carolina all the time. So Terrace Marshall, I think, is a great value play today. And I hope you guys got him in your NFT lineup.
Yeah, that's a lot of questions that we get, and I think as we go through the games, I think a lot of people are curious about those wide receiver 3, 4, 5s, and I think there's a lot of conversations where people just assume some of those 4 and 5s are just kind of trash plays, useless. But I think there are many teams that do 4 wide receiver sets or more, and if someone went down, all they need to do is catch one ball to return like a 3-4 point value. So I love filling out the roster with one of those guys a lot of the time if the matchup is right.
It's a free square, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
little football, little Sunday fun day. How are we watching football today, guys? Are we doing the red zone? Are we watching on our phones, computers? Do we have direct TV? Do we have the Dave holding the antenna outside? How are we watching these games?
Well, hopefully, I'm not holding the antenna outside. I got the Sunday ticket.
Yeah, the amount of money spent on like YouTube TV, a Sunday ticket, all of that is just bonkers. I have my 4 games. This is the setup, by the way. This is what you guys need to do. You put your main game on your TV. You have your laptop with your quad square, one of those being red zone, and then you have like any kind of tablet you have right here with the last remaining game, and you got your bases covered. It's a impromptu man cave sports bar where you don't miss any of the action. That's what I do.
Love it. But truly, what are we doing here, baby? What time is it there? You're in Africa. So what time are you working with right now?
Yeah, we're at 5 p.m. right now. So I know the game started about 7 p.m. my time, which is a pretty good time to watch a game, you know?
Love it.
Love that.
Is that what is your girlfriend setting her lineup back there? Is that what's going down?
Yeah.
I think she's texting her dog. Yeah.
Love it.
You guys do things different in Africa. I did not realize where you guys are in texting with your dogs.
Yeah. It's a new thing that we do here. You don't have the dog yet, so you yeah. Try and communicate before you get him.
We have a comment here from Sideways B. Campbell. Hi, everybody. Hi, Sideways B.
I see it.
Yeah, what's up, B?
NFTDRAFT.
Oh, yeah.
Looky there.
Oh, man. This is exciting.
Yeah, so I think for me to watch games is I just Google, the game, and then I go on these illegal websites, and then I can watch them over there.
NFT
You're a
draft
computer hacker.
Yeah, you might want to blur that part out.
Condone any illegal watching televised broadcasts by the NFL. We suggest you go purchase it straight directly from the source.
So where's the source?
I don't know what they have for you over there. I think the NFL Game Pass does live games
ESPN?
in other countries. The NFL Game Pass, I think, but I may be making that up.
Doesn't ESPN do any games?
On the channel. I don't know what you have over there, man. I have not done the research with all the different.
I know. I have ESPN. I have ESPN. I know that. But
We
I
got
don't
some
think
more
they'll
going
show
here,
NFL.
guys. Couple more comments. Drafter. Good morning, gents. Good morning, sir. Big day for
What up?
you. Sideways B. Cam. Not sure why pick went sideways. Hey.
Still sideways though, man. I like it. You can't ever change.
Chris Murdoch. I would block that out if you could. Yep, double that, truly. We'll get on some sports channels. We'll hook you up. Jason, good
Thank you.
one. Morning, Jason.
Morning.
Hello, guys.
I hope
Daniel Vekas, hello. Shout out to you.
I hope everyone that participated in the card break got to use their cards this weekend. I got everything out. It was easier than I thought. Big shout out to Blue Ninja for helping me make that happen.
But truly, here's
Yahoo
an
app.
answer for you. Yahoo app. Download the Yahoo Sports app. There'll be a few games you can watch. And also, since it is week 1, a lot of free trials out there. Football TV.
Nice.
What's another one? There's a couple of them out there. YouTube TV. Check it out. It's worth checking into. Trying to set a
Great stuff.
lineup and can't select cards. Any pointers? Javonte Jones is having a little issues. He looks like he's on YouTube. Maybe you hit us up, DM us on Twitter. We'll send you a link to the Discord. Get you with tech support, Javonte.
Yeah, man. Let's get them hooked up.
Sideways B. Campbell. Is there a way to buy packs with cards?
I think there was for a bit. Right now, I think the only ways to do it is through PayPal and Venmo through NFTDRAFT.io. I think that is the closest for credit card right now.
All right.
I did post a link. I think that should be the one where you can do it.
We got a little football talk. Value plays. Let's get it, guys.
We just talked about it. I think my two value plays at receiver are going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver number 3 and the Carolina Panthers wide receiver number 3. What you're going to look for when you're looking for those deep wide receivers, look for teams that are playing in 11 personnel more. So you can look at great websites, thefootballguys.com. They show you the formations. So when I say 11 personnel, that means there's 1 running back, 1 tight end. Teams that play in 12 personnel with 1 running back and 2 tight ends, they typically only have 2 receivers. So if a receiver is not on the field, he obviously is not going to get you fantasy points. So the Cardinals, the Buffalo Bills, the Carolina Panthers, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they run the most 11 personnel in the league as of last year. We'll see today. We'll get some new numbers.
For value play,
not friends, Nate. Fantasy turf.
For a value play, I am very, very, very excited about the wide receiver 2 for Baltimore, Sammy Week 1 Watkins. Guys, do you know? I had to look this up because I remembered it was ridiculous. You know what you got Week 1 last year and then just disappeared? He had 7 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown. That's pretty good to come out of the bat. The year before that, you know what he did Week 1? Do you remember this? He went 9 for 198 and 3 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
Sammy Watkins comes out flying. Their wide receiver core is decimated. Their 3 starting running backs are all out for the season. You know I am a huge Tyson Williams truther. Like I feel like he is going to be a league winner this year. But come on, give me Sammy Watkins against that Oakland secondary.
Bold. Bold, 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 bold.
That is not bold.
I'll say this. On my show this week, I asked everybody, who are we going to be talking about Tuesday morning as the waiver wire gems? And we called it a landmine, but Sammy Watkins is going to be a landmine because you're going to see it. It's going to be a trap because he's going to go for 15 points today and then 2 next week.
When I was on the podcast with Britt talking about players, we named them fab burners, where you're just going to waste all of your fab on them.
I like
and then
that.
They'll never hit it again. Kenny G over at the Eagles backfield will be a fab burner 1 week. He will just have a massive, massive game, and it will be his best game of the season, and then he'll never return the value.
Well, let's answer this question about Houston's backfield in the card call. We've got Phillip Lindsay, David Johnson, and Mark has the depth chart. Who's at Johnson, followed by Lindsay, I'm guessing?
I have the points here while you look that up. So Houston RB1 is at 15. Houston RB2 is at 6. And Houston RB3 is at 5. So you can definitely get some value. I don't think I'll ever be playing, no matter who they have listed as number 1 at I don't think I'm going to be spending up 15 points for them. If it's Lindsay, doesn't matter who it is, but it's between those other 2. I can pull it up if you guys don't have it, where they're landing with the depth chart.
Yeah, and we're going by CBS depth chart, correct?
The app is pulling from some metrics.
They're playing Jacksonville. This could be a smash spot. I kind of don't want to. I want to avoid them all, but Lindsay at 6 points might be worth it, just in case we get a David Johnson injury.
I agree with that.
I think the Jacksonville, because when I watched the news, the Jacksonville QB1, the rookie, he's going to be an interesting Week 1 just to watch what he does, going into the season, especially considering Jaguars went, 1 for 20, 1 for 19 last season?
Yeah, they were not ideal.
Yeah, they went 1-15 last year.
1-15. Thank you.
Yeah, so they're a bad football team. They have not really addressed the offensive line. They did get Walker Little, who is a kind of a sleeper as far as the tackles in the draft.
All right, more questions, guys. Let's get to them. Jacksonville wide receiver 3, that's Marvin Jones. Washington wide receiver 3, and we have a chance at New York Giants wide receiver 5. Good Lord. How are we feeling about this? Any player right here?
As of yesterday, Jacksonville was listing Chenault as the 3rd, at least with what we were pulling from, and that is a smash play for sure.
Yeah, you have to go there. Washington, just so everyone knows, Curtis Samuel did hit the IR. He is not there, so that bumps people up. Adam Humphries was a hot pickup this week. He is most likely listed as the 3, or it would be Diami Brown, rookie out of North Carolina.
And I'm a big fan of. I've been talking about the Washington wide receiver 3s and 4s. Those are very low price cards, and especially when you have someone go out to injury who is higher up on the depth chart, right? These guys aren't just going to step into that workload. No one's going to take Curtis Samuel's workload. And so that's actually going to be spread out through some of these wide receiver now, 2, 3s, 4s, 5s even. And so that is when you can actually find some of these guys to get a big play because they're going to get more opportunity.
And the Washington RB2 gets more interesting as those targets are distributed. J.D. McKissick, it is the same coaching staff, same offensive coordinator that made him an RB1 last year. McKissick, he's a very interesting play. I'm nervous to play him today because I don't know what he's going to look like in that offense. But he was a waiver wire winner last year as far as I put together a team of – these are the guys that were waiver wire, guys that won your leagues. And James Robinson, of course, was the poster boy for that. But J.D. McKissick was very good.
Someone asked me this question the other day because I'm very high. I'm like you. I'm very high on the Washington offense. But I know that their defense is also going to be solid. And when you start to list the difference makers on that team, you have a wide receiver 1. You have 2 running backs who are completely useful. You have a tight end who's supposed to be having his repeat. Like, as soon as you start to think about how many points this team is going to score, someone's going to be the odd man out. I just don't know who it is. I think Logan Thomas, I've started to fade a little bit, but that's a trap play as well. It's between him and McKissick have to not return value this season. I just don't know who it's going to be.
Interesting. Any Denzel Mims thoughts here for the Jets going up against the Panthers? Anybody touching him?
I'm not really interested. I would much rather Elijah Moore. He takes a huge – with Crowder out, so Crowder's out due to COVID. That's another injury update. Elijah Moore, he could be someone that everyone is – he could be a fab burner, but he could be – people are running to go grab him next week. Absolutely love Elijah Moore as far as dynasty, and I think as far as future potential, he's going to be a big player.
Which one is Elijah Moore?
He is he's a rookie wide receiver out of Ole Miss. He is a more of a slot receiver. He plays all over the field, but he is really profiled to be a slot guy, which is really good for rookies. Rookies that play in the slot, which it's closer to the quarterback, tend to have faster fantasy production than the outside guys because Cooper Kupp, Michael Thomas, Juju Smith-Schuster, all those guys put up very good fantasy seasons as rookies. And rookie receivers don't always – like Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb, those are exceptions. They're not the rule.
Yeah, and just to kind of take it down another step, I know we have a lot of people new to football here, and so we'll try to get you a lot of the basics as well. You have your 2 guys who line up on the outside who kind of stretch the field a lot more of the time, and then you have the one guy who he's talking about who's the slot guy who is going to kind of stay a lot closer and be easier to target from the quarterback position, and
he's going to try and get open. Okay.
They tend to get more catches, but not as many yards.
Okay.
Because, a guy that's running 50 yards down the field and catches the ball, he just got 50 yards in one chunk, and the other guy might get little nickel and dime 5 and 10 yards.
Jeremy, with another fire question, what do you guys think about Arizona RB2, which I believe is 8 points? James Conner, 50-50 split in the backfield. I'll go first. I just entered the lineup with Conner in it. I love this matchup against Tennessee. Should be some points put on the board, maybe some goal line touches, because Chase ain't the place today. Go ahead.
He is in as many cards as I have of him, he is in a lineup. That is going to be a high scoring game. And to see him punch 1, maybe even 2 in, if you're lucky, is going to return value instantly when he only costs 8 points. So that is a card that since we first opened packs, I saw that, and I saw week 1, and I'm like, that is the card that is going to be one of my value plays all the time. So if you have that card, plug it in somewhere. You most likely won't be mad.
So one thing we talked about as far as like terminology, when you hear the term chalk on your fantasy football shows, that's where a guy is like across the board, he's going to be universally played. So right. Conner is someone that because of his value, you would think is probably going to be a chalk play, but he might not be because people have they have a disdain for James Conner because of how many times they've been burned by him. So you might not see him. Laviska might be a chalk play. Like a lot of people like Laviska. He might, but James Conner, the ownership might be down on him.
I was actually on a pristine lineup or a pristine auction yesterday buying some little mini helmets. I decided to go back every time I've won a season or I've won a tournament to buy one of my players a mini helmet of them. And I was just looking through, but then I saw a James Conner one for like $30. And I was like, all right, well, that's a great value. I put it on it, not thinking I'd win it, and then I won it. No one loves James Conner anymore. He was their darling favorite player, and now everyone just wants nothing to do with him. I think it's a fantastic value. I'm very excited to play him.
Yeah, some stats for Chase Edmonds. So goal line carries when you get, it's a very valuable touch. It's when you get a carry within the 10-yard line, and running backs that get 20 of those or 15 of those tend to have more touchdowns. Chase Edmonds has only had 3 goal line carries in his career. He's been around for about 4 or 5 years. And then volume is extremely important. That's how many times the guy touches the ball. Chase Edmonds has only received 11 or more touches 3 times in his career. He's not going to be someone that gets out there and gets a Christian McCaffrey type of a workload. It'll be a 50-50 or even maybe a 60-40 split in Arizona. And if James Conner's getting the goal line touches, like I said, because he's the bigger back, Edmonds is like 5'10", 200 pounds, and Conner's like 6'1", 220. He's someone that profiles to be the goal line back. You will have Kyler Murray sneak in a couple times, but in a high-powered offense, Conner could be a smash.
Well, let's talk card value. These RBs. RB1 is 17 points for Arizona. So you are paying up for Chase Edmonds. RB2 is 8 points. RB3 is 5. Let's just say, Benjamin sneaks one in there. We never know. But as far as value, it's got to be the 8-point card here in Conner.
Nah, that's a great play, guys. I hope everyone out there that's taking advantage of this show gets to play him.
Absolutely.
That is the Arizona RB2, right?
Yes, sir.
Got him.
All right, guys, we got another one. Pick 2, PPR, Swift, Hunt, Juju. Let's go with you first, Dave.
Yeah, this is a really good one. I'm going to go with the running backs. I'm going to go Swift and Hunt. But if you have another really good running back, Juju's still a good play. Last year when they played against Buffalo, he got the most targets. Tre'Davious White really locked down Deontay Johnson on the outside, and they really peppered Juju with targets.
Yeah, I'm with you too, right? I'm going Hunt. I think there's just a lot of points to be scored in that game. I think they're going to have to keep up. I think they're going to have to lean on Hunt a little bit more than Chubb. So it goes Hunt, Swift, Juju. I'm generally, if I can avoid it, avoiding the Steelers this game, all three wideouts. If a lot of the time, if you drafted them, you can't. But for kind of these tournaments and everything, I'm not picking one because I don't know. I want to see how that shakes out. And Buffalo's not a soft defense, so it's not a great matchup. You don't know what the target share is going to look like. I want to see what they're doing before I kind of lock one of those guys in. But I know our buddy up there is a Chase Claypool truther, another one of the fantastic chases.
Real quick, while we're going on this topic, Swift in NFT is an 18-point card where you have Hunt and Juju both at 14-point cards. So it takes the dynamic away from it. This is PPR you're talking about, but if you're relating that to the NFT game, that's a big swing from 14 to 18 with going from Swift to Hunt, in my opinion. Truly, you see the value of these players. You see the two 14-point cards, the 18-point card. With Swift having such a bad matchup here with San Francisco, is this probably a card you're avoiding week one until we see some better matchups?
Swift, you say, is the 49ers RB1?
49ers defense, one of the best defenses in the league, and we have Swift, Detroit, RB1. This is probably a matchup you're avoiding at all costs till we get sunnier days.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that because the defense will just stop him from doing anything altogether. So I can definitely see that you're just avoiding that. I think there's better picks. There's a lot higher point games where you can go more like a wide receiver one from another team, or even an RB1 from another team that causes the same points.
Hey guys, this just in. Do we have a live news, a breaking news drop? Because this is crazy.
This is where you get creative. Make some kind of instrumental noise.
Trey Sermon inactive.
Whoa,
that's bonkers. RB2 for San Francisco, a darling in a lot of lineups this week.
Oh wow!
Inactive. Raheem Mostert gonna just run.
Yeah,
wild.
Raheem Mostert, and then Jermichael Hasty will be someone he will slide into that RB2 spot. Sermon has been dealing with an ankle injury. Did they say that's why?
They just released their inactives. They did say that Trey Lance is active officially. That's crazy.
So from a card value standpoint, San Francisco, Mostert, 14-point play. Hasty moves up to number 2 on the depth chart. And this, like we just talked, Detroit, this is a smash spot. And if I'm correct, San Francisco RB2, 12 points. So it's a little pricier RB2.
Yeah,
card.
I'm avoiding that. To go back to the Swift part, one of the reasons that you might want to pay up on Swift, especially if you saved money by getting Connor and LaVisca, is just that volume. A target is worth 2.5 times weighted opportunity versus a carry. So if Detroit is playing from behind and they're passing the ball and they don't have a lot of receivers, you can see Jared Goff just dumping it down. And that's where DeAndre Swift could make his money and make you some money. So that's where I'm going to go with Swift. I do like him as a play this year. It is a tough matchup for sure.
Wow. All right. Give me 1 second, guys. Y'all hold down the fort. I got to check on the kiddo real quick.
No worries. Yes, that's pretty bad for San Francisco, right?
No, not really. I think they didn't need him. They were going to blow out the Detroit. I was saying I could see this being 24-3 at the half. That's totally possible. They didn't really need him. I already expected Raheem Mostert to have a massive game. But I do want to call out that I think this is, there's a lot of talk about having players versus having positions, and on NFT draft, how we have position cards. If you have a lineup locked in right? And you aren't able to go and change it. And you have the RB2. If that was Trey Sermon, that would be a big old fat 0, right? The fact that the other guy slides right into that RB2 spot means you get to salvage some of those points. And hey, he can pop in 2 touchdowns easily. They've done it before. He's done it before. Yeah. And all of a sudden you've gotten value. So that's one of the things I do like about this. If you have a DraftKings lineup and you had Trey Sermon in there, that's going to do nothing for you.
Yeah. And I think people are going to be in that spot. I think a lot of people thought, that Trey Sermon was basically going to get the second half, because sometimes what happens is teams get up. They're up 20 points at halftime, and they start playing some of the second-string guys. And when you see these soft opponents like Detroit and Houston, you will see that. So it hurts when you see your guy put up 20 points in the first half. You cannot wait for that second half. You're like, man, I'm going to have a huge week. And they're like, well, he's eating sunflower seeds because his day is done. It really sucks. But, in some platforms, you can do team quarterback, but you can't do team running back, team tight end, and team receiver. So that's a great point, Chase, that you can actually take advantage of this platform by being able to set your lineup and not worry so much, because it takes care of it for you.
Yeah, it helps a lot of you out if you aren't knowing, if you don't have to watch the inactives and someone gets inactive last second. You're never going to get a player who doesn't play. Someone else is going to slot into that position at the end of the day. All right. What do you guys think about this? All right. Over under DeAndre Swift, 44.5 yards rushing.
What was that one?
Swift, over or under 44.5 yards rushing.
Just rushing.
Yeah. It's a tough line.
Yeah, there's some tough lines. I saw Zach Moss was 29.5 rushing yards. I was like, come on. But like, it's Zach Moss. You don't know.
Zach Moss is inactive now.
Well, I'm taking the under.
And then officially, Austin Eckler is active. People waiting for that. I have him in a lineup. If he's playing, I'm playing him because he's had a hamstring injury before. If there was any doubt in their mind that he could not go or that he could re-injure it, they would not risk that. The other thing that's important with him, just to kind of finish that thought, is that it was, I believe, his other hamstring that was bugging him. It wasn't the one that he was dealing with last year. So that makes me feel really good. I'm playing him, and I expect him to, be at least at 80%.
Nice.
Highest scoring game this week. I'm going to go with New Orleans and Green Bay.
Ooh, that is a hot take. What is the over under there? I think
it was like 50 or 51. I went through the spreads this week. Every week I'm going to go through the spreads and talk about the highest scoring games and why that's important. There's little things that can factor into that give you the edge, especially in these tournaments. You want that thing. It might not give you a 50% chance of winning more, but it might be a 1% edge of just knowing, hey, they're playing in bad weather. They're playing indoors. There's really high winds. They're not going to throw the ball as much. So Green Bay and New Orleans, I know it's two pretty good defenses, but they're going to air it out. I think Aaron Rodgers he wants to show everybody why the Green Bay Packers are going to miss him so much. And then Jameis Winston has been known to throw a few pick sixes and turnovers. If the Saints get from behind, they're going to have to chuck it up. I think that could be a very sneaky high scoring game.
I got why am I blanking out? Arizona, Tennessee. I think that is going to be a massive shootout. Arizona doesn't think they need a defense. And so they don't need a secondary. They're like, that's not part of the game. That's the piece that we're missing. That's the odd man out. And so they're going to have to put up points. Tennessee is just going to be. I'm so excited to see Julio Jones lining up on the other side of AJ Brown. Tannehill's going to have a field day there. Arizona's going to have to keep up. That is going to be a fun game to watch.
Absolutely. I'm loving this Minnesota-Cincinnati game. A lot of weapons, a lot of intrigue. I'm interested to see if Burrow can stay upright because this is a beatable defense. But we'll see just how good Cincinnati's offensive line is. Like I keep saying, 15-point card at quarterback, not bad. You look at how cheap Tyler Boyd, I believe he's the wide receiver 3 card on this as well. That's a dirt cheap one. As far as card values, there's a ton of them. Guys, make sure and get your packs. They're on sale, I believe, till tomorrow? Is that correct?
Till tomorrow.
Monday, Monday at, I think it'll probably be like 7 p.m. your time, Central, and Eastern.
The prices jump, right, guys? So go in there, grab some packs. If you have some extra money, grab a few of them. We are hoping you undersell us on the market. Like buy them low, sell them high.
We
go
like that.
for it. Absolutely.
Truly, what is the value of getting like one of these captain packs? Like, tell me how this works out. Kind of break down the packs for those people that are new or just tuning in, know the fantasy football part, but not the NFT.
Yeah. So, I mean, ideally, if you want to buy a pack, it'll be better to maybe first go check out the secondary. Go check out the secondary. Check if your packs are maybe cheaper on the secondary. If they're not, right, we have a drop right now at $175. That is currently up and running right now. And you guys can just go and buy that. But I think your captain packs is definitely your standout packs. You get 250 cards, and you have a shot at getting GOATs, MVPs, standouts, team captains, pretty much everything. That is definitely your most value. There you go. You got the captain out there, Matty. There,
truly.
Saying it straight up.
Truly, I am the captain now. Keep going. Sorry.
So definitely captain packs if you want to start out. I would definitely advise people to at least buy one draft pack. At least one draft pack because it gives you all the positions. You get one of each. There's no guarantee of a duplicate, so you cannot get a duplicate card. Draft packs, one draft pack, and then if you want to, get some GOATs, get yourself those captain packs.
So I just want to throw a strategy tip out there. This is just like your fab. You want to spend it now because the value is going to be there. If you go and buy let's say you buy a pack every single week, then you're at the end of the year you're going to buy a pack that you're only going to get to use for 1 week. But if you buy this, like you said, the captain pack, you go and buy that now, you can use it every single week throughout the year. So you're basically creating a bankroll and extending it throughout the season and getting more bang for your buck.
And when you are playing DraftKings or anything like that, you're paying every time you are entering a lineup, right? And that disappears after that moment. When you make the investment to buy a pack of cards, right? You get to keep those forever. Those are actual NFTs. And so those are your entry into our free tournaments. And so imagine you're just entering a bunch of lineups each week. You're actually making money when you're doing that. And also the best part about all of this, which I got excited about, and it's the reason I'm a part of this team, is if this blows up, the more people who join in, the more valuable those cards become. And so not only is this a way to win money in tournaments, it's a way to win money in just owning NFTs and getting in on this massive craze of the future.
Well, guys, let's show them a lineup. I'm about to set a lineup.
Ooh, let's go.
Let's get some advice or whatnot.
I might steal your lineup.
Let's see what we got here. All right. Here we go.
The website is struggling a little bit, Matty. I think there's a lot of users right now on the website. I've been trying to get one, but it is struggling a little bit. Just a question from Lambo. Lambo, yes, you can get any rarity in a captain pack as well. In an NFT draft pack as well. Any rarity.
The only one that really doesn't is promo, which is going away, and the draft pack, which just gives you one of every card. And just so everyone knows who are watching, Truly and I have helped people who have under 80 cards set lineups, just looking at their wallets on Twitch and trying to come up with a lineup with them. And at the end of the day, after we helped them build that lineup, I looked at it and I was like, that's
really good. Yeah.
So don't think you need every single card, or you need to be kind of one of the people who are the whales, as we call them. Anyone can win this. That's what's beautiful about fantasy football. It is 50% knowledge and 50% luck, honestly.
Yeah.
And guys, we are getting flooded with questions. The website's getting flooded. Everybody be patient with us. This is week 1 of NFT draft. We're growing. We're learning the growing pains, things like this. Like I said, we're going to be better in every single week. But we are hyped that football is back. We are literally an hour and 10 minutes. Yes.
I'm so excited. You guys want to go through any of the games, or we want to just kind of go through some of our locks, values, fades? What do you think?
We might be able to do both if we talk about Philly and Atlanta.
That is absolutely my favorite game on the docket, not only because I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan and excited to see them in full form before 50% of their team is lost to injury by week 2. But it is going to be a high-scoring game. 2 amazing offenses, 2 crappy defenses. Let's go.
Woo! Woo! Guys, we got the website up and running. Let's go ahead and go to that real quick. Let people kind of check it out. Here we go.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I can also say it. Good. Just a quick question there. We have a question about blending. Ziggy, blending not available yet. Okay, NFTBlocks is still busy with their contract because their contract cannot handle 2,000 templates and 2,000 different blends. Mm-hmm. So they're busy with their contract. As soon as they're done with their contract, then the blending should kick off. I'm not sure how long they will take. They have not given me any times yet, but that is definitely in the works.
Also, no, truly has to come in with stuff that we don't know. All the things that he's talking about, we're here talking about 4 wide receiver sets, and then he's going with start talking about contracts.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that kicks off pretty soon. I'll definitely keep updated. Like I said, just waiting for NFTBlocks to finish their job pretty much.
Hey, Matt, the comment is hanging out over Altrui's head, so just want to give you a heads up on that.
Well, I think he did that purposefully. I think that was intentional.
A little block action.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
We've got a lot going, guys.
It's an active group. This chat is active. I love to see that. A lot of people are excited, and I hope that we help you guys out. Accountability is a big thing. So if we steer you in the wrong direction, we definitely will hold to that. But we hope we help you guys out.
Absolutely.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, Matt, are you gonna get us going with that?
I was having some technical difficulties, so let's see if it's back up and running. I think we're good.
And Maddie, if we just want to do it the paper-wise, I have we can just kind of fill it out here too. If we just want to talk through your cards and look at them, that's another way we can do it. And then you can submit the lineup after.
Can you guys see my screen?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's do it, guys. Looks like I'm going to go with my studs right off the bat. Oh, it's telling me I got to put a D or kicker. Okay. Give it a second here. Let's get off here. Let's make sure we get that defense.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Should we go defense kicker or defense, guys? What are we thinking? Or just a kicker?
We had this discussion yesterday, me and Chase. And Chase's advice to me was, sometimes you'd rather go for a defense and then upgrade another card, something like a running back or something in that line.
So, I've done so many trying to on the Excel sheets trying to figure out the math behind what makes more sense, and I can't wait to see who wins these tournaments this first week to understand where the value there was. But ultimately, you need to decide: is the extra 5-6 points that I would take to upgrade to the defense and kicker, where would I put that? And is that a big enough upgrade over there to make it count and be worthwhile? Generally, I think with like running backs, going from like a 14-point running back to a 20-point running back is a fantastic way to up the value. But if I was going to go from a 15-point QB to a 20-point QB, I think the value is a little bit less there. So I've been hitting just defense.
Well, let's do just defense. I'm going to go Carolina's against the Jets. Let's try it out and see if the shoe fits.
Interesting.
I went
like
Miami.
That. They got Jeremy Chin, Brian Burns. They have some playmakers on that defensive line, and Zach Wilson still is a rookie.
All right, let's see. Get to save up here. Come on, computer.
And
I got
Chase,
Windows 98, guys. Be a little patient.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's got his kid in the hamster wheel running the So I do have my locks, fades, and values that I wrote down because I didn't know if we were going to do that last night or not, Chase. So if we want to go through those, I'm ready whenever.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're getting a lot of questions. So I see what RB play is your favorite this week. Something that we looked at was one lock. What I kind of define a lock as is someone who's 19, 20 points, but worth paying up for, right? A value, someone who's pretty cheap, but could return a lot of value, who's kind of like more of a sleeper, and a fade, someone who's up there at like the 20s, who normally is someone you would play each and every week, that maybe you might pivot off of them to grab someone else just because they are in a tough spot.
Yeah, so my lock is Alvin Kamara. Even though you're paying up, when you're paying 20 points, you want to get at least 20 points back, and I think you're going to get probably 30 points back. He is their offense. It's going to run through him today.
Which card is that? Sorry.
The New Orleans Saints RB1.
Yeah,
nice. New Orleans RB1. Thank you.
Yeah, because they're really lacking pass catchers right now. Traquan Smith just went to the IR. Michael Thomas is on the short-term IR. And Alvin Kamara really does make a lot of his damage in the passing game. He is kind of a Christian McCaffrey type of player. So he's my lock.
He was also my lock. And the one other thing that just is even more tasty is that Green Bay allowed the 5th highest points to running backs last season. So not only is he the only person on the team who's going to score points both on the ground and through the air, they allow them to do that. I'm excited for it. This is my lock as well.
So you're both going for New Orleans RB1?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's different. I'm going to stick with this stack all week. It's CMC against the Jets. It's Mostert against Detroit. It's my 1-2 stack in DraftKings anywhere I can, even in this NFT. I'm just stacking up on CMC. I feel like week 1, he's just going to come out firing like a hog. I think there's a little more questions with Kamara, with Winston. If he starts turning it over, what are we going to see? Air it out, check down, air it out, check down.
I like the Cook call too, Tyler. He was definitely someone I considered. So if we want to throw a second guy out there, someone you want to pay up for, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Cook is which card?
Minnesota Vikings RB1.
Yeah.
Minnesota RB1. Nice. Interesting. Do you think he's going to do well this week? Because they're not facing a good team. They're facing the Minnesota Vikings again.
They're playing the Cincinnati Bengals.
Bengals.
So,
okay.
Yeah, that's a fantastic one. Those guys are my top 3 running backs this week are Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, and Alvin Kamara.
Wow. Okay.
So that's Minnesota, Carolina, and New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Those are the top 3. Everyone has them in a different order.
Value-wise, are they all the same?
Yeah, they're all 20 points, so pick your poison. What about a fade, guys? Who do you have as a running back fade that normally you'd be all in on, but this week maybe
it's got to be Barkley week 1, right? That's an easy one.
It's got to be Barkley. Yeah.
We talked Swift. That's another one.
Yeah.
Houston, do not put RB1 for Houston in your lineup. Just
don't pay up the 14. Saquon, that is New York blue on the cards. Yeah, the Giants. Also the lowest over-under of the entire docket at 43, right? So not a lot of points. The team's going to struggle. First time coming back from injury. Been out since week 2 last year. Yeah, just
The other one we talked about earlier was the Arizona Cardinals RB1. It's pretty pricey, especially when you can pivot to the RB2 for half price.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and Jeremy, I agree. Clyde, Kansas City RB1 at 20 points is going to be generally a fade, except for in a smash spot. I don't see myself playing a lot of him this season, but we'll see. I mean, hey, he was drafted to be the guy, and on Andy Reid's offense, traditionally the RB1 is just insane. He could very well get the workload to turn into something amazing, but definitely not yet. We haven't seen it happen, except for week 1, actually last year, where he had like 3 touchdowns, right? So you could do a contrarian play and throw him in and grab that 3 touchdown. Him and Sammy Watkins. You got 6 already. You're winning the lineup.
Yeah.
What about
Matty, please go.
Mine's more of a value. Are we looking at Javonte Williams to have an instant impact? Because he's valued at 8 points going against the Giants defense. It is week 1, so you temper your expectations for rookies. But could you see Javonte having like a 40-50% workload?
I have Melvin Gordon as an RB1 this week. I think he is going to get the majority of the work. What about you?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I want to see it before I go and play it, because there's so many other players in that value that I would much rather play. So yeah, if it's a 70-30 split or a 60-40 split, it's a low scoring game. The Giants have a pretty decent run defense. I'm avoiding that. I'm avoiding Javonte Williams for week 1 just because the uncertainty. It could be hero play. I mean, you could play it and he could end up blowing up, but I'm just avoiding it this week.
What do you think about Melvin Gordon long term? You think he's just going to quickly lose the job and those two are going to swap? I think we are forgetting how good Melvin's been the past few years.
Yeah, I don't think it's just going to be a situation where week 2 you're looking at Javonte Williams, but Melvin Gordon has not stayed healthy ever. So eventually it's going to happen. And if he misses a week or 2 and Javonte Williams blows up, you could see Melvin Gordon traded at the deadline for somebody looking for a running back, or you could just see them turn over the keys, or at least that 70-30 turns into a 50-50. Long term, I don't know. For Melvin Gordon, he is a free agent next year. Javonte Williams was a 2nd-round draft pick, so they've invested a lot in him.
Sir JG, good call. Yeah, we'll try to keep doing that. Remind us if we don't, or
Drew's been doing a good job.
Williams is which RB?
Those are Denver's running back. He's running
Broncos.
back too.
Yeah. You guys aren't expecting a big game for Broncos and Giants, right?
No,
not a big a scoring game at least.
No, the Giants, Denver and New York Blue will have that's the lowest scoring total expected by Vegas on the slate. 2 good defenses, 2 not so great offenses, and there's a lot of high scoring games on the slate this weekend.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, so there's a lot better choices than going for RB1 from either New York Blue or even Denver.
They're projected, I think you said 43, Chase. And there's some teams that are 53 and 55 for the point total. Kansas City and Cleveland, they'll score probably 15 points more than that game.
Sideways B Campbell. Oh, Tyson Williams. He is my. If you have an hour, I can talk about why I think he's going to be an amazing running back and win this job. But I agree, week 1 was at 17, 18 points. I forget what the RB1 is for. Let me pull that up. I don't have a ton of him in my NFT draft lineup, but it's someone that you want to watch because he very well can eventually start making that. He costs 19 points. It's a lot for a undrafted free agent rookie coming in. who's just gotten the job. I don't think I'm paying up this week, but later on, I'm keeping my eye on him.
Nice.
So I guess we didn't go through values yet. Chase, who's your value play this week?
Well, we just kind of talked about him already. James Conner was my value. But I will also
Arizona
say now,
RB2?
yeah, Arizona RB2.
Arizona
8 points.
RB2.
We talked about him a ton. And I also think even at 14 points now, Raheem Mostert, San Francisco RB1 is a value. Like if he was going to be the only guy, he should have been priced a lot higher. But now that
Atlanta RB1 is 15 and Pittsburgh RB1, I believe, is 16. Those were the ones I wrote down for my values. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Najee. They think, Pittsburgh did not have a good offensive line last year. They got rid of a lot of pieces, and a lot of people said, oh, my God, they got rid of their entire offensive line. Well, they got rid of a bad offensive line. You really couldn't get much worse than what they were. They brought in a bunch of new guys. Trey Turner is a right guard for them. He's very good. They drafted a center/guard in the 3rd round. The kid can play. So I think they're going to be better than people think, and he's going to get a lot of volume. And the Buffalo Bills, they're a funnel defense, which means they're going to protect against the pass and funnel you towards they want you to run the ball. And Pittsburgh's going to want to do that and keep Josh Allen on the sideline. So you could see a lot of touches from I think 25 touches from Najee Harris today.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah. I love that value.
Pittsburgh
I'm just getting a few more inactives and actives. Evan Ingram out. That's the tight end 1 for New York Blue, which makes some wide receivers a little bit more interesting and Saquon a little bit more interesting. But I'm still probably staying away from New York this week, even with those vacated targets for the week.
Yeah, for the New York Blue, with Evan Ingram out, the wide receiver 3 is going to be interesting. It most likely is going to be Sterling Shepard, I believe. I don't know if someone has the depth chart. And Golden Tate's not there anymore. Now Evan Ingram is not there anymore, and they occupy the same part of the field. In your PPR, if the Giants are trailing, you could see a lot of passes to him. And then Kadarius Toney is the wide receiver 4 for New York Blue. I would not recommend playing him right now, but he is someone that he's really interesting after the catch, and he's got some juice. You can see the Giants use him like a Deebo Samuel type of a player and try to manufacture some points for him.
He just needs to get on the practice field a little bit more before he can actually hit a game field.
Had COVID, had a little bit of a calf injury. He's out there. Kenny Golladay is playing, and Darius Slayton is still there as the wide receiver 2 card.
Yeah.
Well, so I got another question because we are talking Giants. We are talking Broncos. Everybody's kind of wanted to start that defense on Denver. We've just heard Chase say he has Melvin Gordon as a RB1. So we got Bridgewater, which is QB1 for Denver at 16 points. We have the wide receiver 1 and 2 at 17 points. That's Sutton and Judy.
That's low. That's pretty low for wide receiver 1s.
Which receiver are we picking out of the bunch? Are we going, do we think Judy's going to get the short game? Are we taking the big play with Sutton this week? What's your choice here, guys? Let's go with you, Chase.
I'm going Judy for sure if I'm picking one of those 2 guys. He is definitely in the preseason been the favorite target of Teddy, and so you don't want a lot of pieces of a game that's going to have such a low over-under. And I think both teams are going to funnel a lot of work through their running backs. And so Saquon will get, things going. Moved on. Saquon is going to get things moving. Melvin Gordon, I don't think this is like air it through the sky kind of game. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be ground and pound. So I'm generally staying away, and that's why I do like Denver's defense. I think they are in a good spot to kind of return some value. I don't think Daniel Jones can really compete with them too much, especially that secondary.
So who would it be? Judy then? Are you going Fant at 15 at tight end? Are you going Sutton at 17? Who's you have to play one of these guys, Chase. I'm putting you on the spot. Give me the one you want in the pass game.
In the pass game, can I go RB1? I will go Jerry Jeudy, just because I think he's going to be a safety blanket, and he will get enough catches.
Same. Wide receiver 2. James Bradbury is a lockdown corner. He locked down Amari Cooper. He locked down Mike Evans, who got locked down this weekend. He locked down Allen Robinson. He's a tough matchup. Teddy Bridgewater's his game does not really blend well with Courtland Sutton, who is more of a deep threat jump ball guy. He really is a timing route. Get the ball in front of the player, let them make it happen. Jerry Jeudy and Teddy Bridgewater were made for each other. So that wide receiver 2 in Denver is a great pick. I'm staying away. My fade is the wide receiver 1 for Denver.
Yeah,
it's tricky there because you have Fant, who's battled injury. You don't know, like we said, Bridgewater did support some top 24 tight or receivers last year, but there was no CMC. So a lot of intrigue in this matchup. I could see the PPR points, 17 points. There's better options. Jeudy seems the safe bet out of these 3.
Another breaking news, which is I didn't see this coming. Let me know if you did, Dave. But Wayne Gallman, RB2 for Atlanta, inactive, which means Mike Davis is in a smash spot.
Yeah.
That's not an injury inactive. That is we have trust in Mike Davis inactive, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he just came over. He's only been there for a little bit, so hasn't really had much time to pick up the playbook and things like that. I don't really know what's going on there because Gallman, I like Gallman. He is a backup for a reason. He is not a starting running back, but when he's played, he's done some work. And if Davis were to go down mid-game, Gallman could show up. Last year, he had some RB1 performances on the Giants behind a bad offensive line and a low-scoring offense. But, yeah, Mike Davis that was the person I marked as a value. I would say he has to be in your lineup. So, guys, go out.
Goodbye, guys. I need to go. I need to go
14-point card guy. Here's a question for you. So, if he's the 14-point card, is Quadre Olsen moving up the depth chart? Because
they cut him.
But they brought him back to the practice squad. So the RB2 in Atlanta, as much as we hype up the value of the 14-point card, RB2 is 6 points, guys. Let's just say there's somebody else back there. Imagine Gallman next week, let's say. Or if Quadre is the RB2. That might be a dart throw as well, guys.
What's the Los Angeles RB2? What is the card worth? What is the card worth? Oh, I'm sorry. San Diego.
Which one? Rams?
San Diego.
Oh, okay.
RB2, Sony Michel for Los Angeles is 9.
Yeah, they just had projected points up there. They had Henderson up there for
8 points for San Diego.
So 8 points. I like that card as a value. So the San Diego RB2, which is Justin Jackson right now. Austin Eckler's banged up. If he were to just have a little bit of a re-injury occur early in this game, you could see Justin Jackson be a workhorse essentially in this game. He has a stranglehold. That was the quote that the beat writer used on the RB2 position. So as of now, the RB2 is Justin Jackson, and he could end up the RB1 in that backfield if Austin Eckler were to get re-injured or miss time. But they always used a dual approach. Austin Eckler's never been a CMC type of guy. He's always had a Batman and Robin situation.
I flirted with that a lot, and I popped him in and out of lineups a ton. And ultimately, it came down to the Washington matchup, which isn't the best. They've kept a lot of running backs in check, and so that's why I pivoted somewhere. But it's a good value, and like you said, we're one injury away from something crazy happening. I see drafters asking what are the odds of Fields, Chicago QB2 getting some snaps today? I would say 0.5%.
Really that low?
I would give it more than that, but not much more. Not much.
They don't want to throw him against the Rams. I think I've heard a lot of analysts talking about how they are throwing Andy Dalton as the sacrificial lamb to the LA Rams defense. Put him out there, have him struggle, then you have reason to start bringing in Justin Fields halfway through game 2, potentially.
QB2 spot for Chicago is only a 3-point card, guys.
Yeah, I think
I was going to go
too.
with that though. I was really.
Me too. I like it.
If you go and get let's say you pay up for kicker and defense, and you need to get that free square to be able to kind of afford that. It could happen. What he's saying could easily happen because if Andy Dalton goes 3 and out, and the Rams go and score, and they're 14-0, Nagy's playing for his job. I know they're doing the sacrificial lamb type of thing, but he may not need a full game to be able to. He doesn't even need a snap. He can justify it right now, but just Fields in the game. But you could see Fields come in there halfway through the game, and at 3 points, he's gonna one throw he returns points.
Absolutely.
I was hoping that Trey Lance, San Francisco QB2 was cheaper, but at 7 or 8 points, it's a little dicey at this. I see him potentially coming in for a package and scoring a touchdown. If he does that, he'll return value, but that's a tough one. I don't know if there's any QB2s that, unless maybe New Orleans, that I'm rocking out this week.
Yeah, New Orleans is definitely one that I'm rocking out. One that would be probably, I would say, be a sneaky play is the RB2. I know we don't love the New York Blue, but with Saquon playing today, he's still going to be limited. He's on a pitch count. Maybe he gets 10 to 15 touches. They play again on Thursday. Devontae Booker could be someone that gets on the field quite a bit as the RB2. And like I said last year, when Coleman in that offense was fantasy relevant, and I don't have the card value right in front of me, but the New York Blue number 2, I believe, was 6. Not
New York back 2. New York Blue RB2 is 11 points.
Oh, I scratched that from the record. I'm not going to run with Booker for 11 points.
Yeah.
He's 5 or 6. If he's 5 or 6, I would. What about Detroit RB2? Jamal Williams. A lot of talk about Jamal Williams this offseason. What about Green Bay RB2, A.J. Dillon?
10-point card.
Yeah, later. I don't know week 1. I think they'll try to get Aaron Jones going, I assume, but 10 points is a lot for him. I think once I start to see him getting the Jamal Williams kind of carries where it's like 60-40, I think that's when I'll start playing him.
Does anyone have the New York Jets depth chart in front of them? I want to know who the running back 1 and 2 is on that team. I know it's not Michael Carter.
I'm putting it up right now. 2 seconds. Sorry, which one are you looking for?
I think Carter's like 4.
New York Green. New York Green.
Yeah, RB1.
The Jets.
Sorry, which position? My apologies.
Running back.
We've got starter Tevin Coleman, 2nd Ty Johnson, 3rd Carter.
The RB2 for the New York Greens is interesting. Ty Johnson is the Raheem Mostert of that offense, and they are San Francisco East. They have the coaching staff from San Francisco went over there. They're going to run a similar offensive scheme, and Ty Johnson is a one-cut. He's a one-cut killer. If he gets a crease, he's gone. He's a big dude, but he runs very quick. So that could be a value play right there that not a lot of people are going to put in their lineup.
He's 9 points, and then RB3 is 7 points.
Yeah, and we talked about this being a high-scoring game. So, yeah, A.J. Dillon is the fullback. I'm a Kylan Hill guy. I'm a big Kylan Hill dynasty guy, but I don't know if I'd be that confident throwing him out today. I'll be right back, guys.
Interesting. So what about Justin? We talk Justin Fields. Let's talk Trey Lance for a second. Because this is a guy we just saw that, Sermon's out. We've heard about the packages, things like that for your QB2 for San Francisco. Do we expect to see Lance out here today running a few series, or is it just going to be kind of a gadget player? What's your thoughts on this, Chase?
I think it'll be more of a gadget player. I think they want to just give him some game time. I don't think he'll get a full series or two. All of them have been really coy, like about having something that they're going to do that we haven't really seen before. Right. I'm excited to see what happens. I think it may end up being a little bit of a Taysom Hill type situation. And they'll start moving into, I'm glad you put that up there because that's a tough call. And so I definitely want to see what happens. I think the value will kind of return as the season goes on. I'm not sure if I'm spending up the 7 points, but I wouldn't fault you if you did.
All right, Chase. This is our bread and butter, start sits, fantasy football. I think we're probably going to be leaning the same way. Maybe you'll surprise me here.
You go first, man.
Saquon Barkley, he's a lock, obviously. We've got Josh Jacobs against the Baltimore D, Darrell Henderson against the Chicago Bears D, and then we have Tyson Williams, kind of the lone wolf for week 1, but we haven't seen any of them. It's kind of, we don't know what we're getting. To me, this is a no-brainer. I'm still taking the chance on Tyson Williams against Oakland's defense. I think between Baltimore being the most run-heavy team in the NFL, this is a smash spot for this young kid. Jacobs, Henderson, I'd probably go Henderson over Jacobs. I could be wrong on that one because the Bears defense, the Baltimore defense, they both scare the shit out of me. So, Chase, tell me where I'm at. Tell me if you're on the same bus. We got off the Gus bus. Are we on the Tyson Williams bus?
You know I'm on the Tyson Williams bus. No, I agree with you. You have Saquon. You drafted him. He's playing. They're going to give him some work. He can easily catch 5-6 passes out of the backfield. Just lock him in. You might as well, if you're doing these tournaments, that's when I might pivot off of him to someone else who costs the same. But in your kind of fantasy lineup, let him go. And then Tyson Williams, they said that it's his job to lose. All of the beat reporters back there are saying it's great. I'm glad we have a little bit more depth, but they are giving him the opportunity. And if he had not been hurt coming out of college, then he absolutely would have been drafted. And I've just been watching his film because I wanted to do a deep dive. I didn't see a lot of people. This guy has hands. He has the second power. He has the vision. I mean, he can be a lead back. And so I love the spot against Oakland. Play him, and let's see what happens. I think he's going to be a league winner for everyone. I have him in every single league I'm in. I went and picked him up early.
So if anybody's missing it, that's Josh Jacobs is Las Vegas RB1, valued at, I believe, a 20-point card. Crazy. Yeah. And then we have 2 19-point cards, if I'm correct, in Los Angeles RB1 and Darrell Henderson. I've always been a fan, but like I said, matchup's a little tough. And the newfound glory, which is Tyson Williams, another 19-point RB1 card. Dave, I hope you enjoyed your little break, did some push-ups. Roll over there, baby. Hit me with this one. Pick one of these PPR RBs. Is it Las Vegas? Is it Los Angeles? Or is it Baltimore?
So just pick one.
Just pick one. He's got Barkley. He's starting.
Los Angeles.
Pick two. Excuse me.
Whoa. Yeah, pick two. If you don't want to pick Barkley, don't pick Barkley. You have to pick two to start.
I'm going to take Barkley and Henderson. But, yeah, it's I see the good options. Josh Jacobs I'm steering away from completely. But I'm going to take Barkley and Henderson.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you. So it's tournament, right? So you're gonna need someone that is going to after this question.
That is Philadelphia RB1. That is Atlanta RB1, and Corey Davis should be the New York Green wide receiver one. I'm correct if I'm correct.
Yeah. Oh, I think this is easy. Davis, going with the double Davis. I'm going with the double Davis. I'm going with the double Davis. People have heard about it. They've never seen it happen. Corey Davis has been a target monster this preseason. He is going to be the safety blanket. He is going to get 12 targets this game, I have a feeling. And then Mike Davis with no one behind him in this high-scoring game. Miles Sanders is on the other side of the rock, but they have a running quarterback. Give it to Mike Davis. Give it to Corey Davis. Boom.
That real quick, that's Philadelphia RB1 at 18 points. Mm-hmm. That's Atlanta RB1 at 14 points. And New York Green, wide receiver 1 at 15 points, guys.
Mm-hmm. If this was 2 out of 3, then that's the easiest question on the slate. If I had to choose between Atlanta RB1 and New York Jets wide receiver 1, that gets a little bit more dicey, but we've been a very big fan of Atlanta RB1 today, and I'm going to ride that train. Mike Davis 1, Corey Davis 2, Miles Sanders 4. I'm avoiding him completely. I just, at that price, no thank you. Jalen Hurts is not going to be dumping the ball off. He's a running quarterback. Hurts could even run in a touchdown and steal, vulture a touchdown from him. No thank you. I'm sticking away. Even in a high-scoring game, I'm not a fan of Sanders.
And Sanders, he's not even going to be the pass-catching back when they have 2 ample hands right behind him. I didn't see – and honestly, if you asked me an hour ago, I would have leaned Corey Davis. But ever since hearing about the Gallman inactive, Mike Davis is matched up for sure.
Well, I'm gonna trick you guys because I'm not going for the Davis double. Obviously, Mike Davis has been one of my soulmates since the beginning of the offseason. I'm definitely going with that 14-point card, but I'm a little higher on Miles Sanders week 1 than most. To me, this is RB 15 on the week. 18 points is a little steep in NFT, but I could see it. I expect 15 to 18 plays up his wheelhouse, and I expect 1 or 2 big plays. This Atlanta defense is beatable, and I don't think that passing game is just going to be stolen from him week 1. I expect him to have a little bit more work than at least at week 1. This is the time to start this guy, in my opinion. Then we'll know what we got, but I'm a little more hesitant on Corey Davis. As good as this looks, you got Elijah Moore there. You got these other weapons, and we don't know what kind of offense we're getting. Is it West Coast? Is this a rookie quarterback? I'm kind of veering off from the Jets or New York Green week 1. So give me Sanders, give me Davis. The Davis daily double, I have to wait for another day.
Oh, man. I was so excited about the Davis daily double.
We got another one.
Just a quick question. So as we're having some issues with the site, there is about 7 games being played in 30 minutes, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Let's I wanted to maybe chat about the games after 7 o'clock, because if the people don't get their submissions in, they still have chance to submit for the last that's about 8 games. The last 8 games.
And you have some great games too to pull people from, like the potentially high scoring game on the docket. The Cleveland Kansas City game is going to be there. The New Orleans Green Bay game is going to be there. You have Baltimore tomorrow night playing the Raiders. There are a lot of great options still available. Someone could easily win the tournament just using players from the remaining games and skipping this whole morning.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm looking at Chiefs and Browns, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even just Chiefs and Browns in itself, you can probably set a whole 8-team lineup of his Chiefs and Browns.
Easy.
No,
for sure.
Kansas City and Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could easily do that. The kickers could be, some of the higher scoring kickers of the week. The defense might be lower scoring, but you never know with defenses. There's so much that comes down to that one big turnover. If they can get a kick return or they can get a fumble, or a pick six or something. Pick six would be an interception return for a touchdown. If they can get those, they're automatically a top 5 defense, no matter if they're a good defense or a bad defense.
David, I'm curious your thoughts here. I think that a sneaky play is Miami QB1, 15 points on NFT draft. I know Tua's going against the New England team, and they're going to be pretty solid. But I feel like he can absolutely surprise us this season.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I think that offense is going to look a lot different. So they have a new offensive coordinator. They actually have two, which is interesting. But they are going to be a much more vertical, deep threat passing approach than they were last year. Last year, they really kind of had the training wheels on Tua. So they were just doing dink and dunk, a lot of heavy running game. But they went and got Jalen Waddle. They went and got Will Fuller. That's some nitro. That is some juice right there. Will Fuller's not playing week 1, which is good for your Miami tight end 1 card. I think this is the 1 week you can play him. But you still got Devontae Parker out there. You got Myles Gaskin, who is a threat in the passing game extension. I like that call. My only caveat to that is I do think New England is going to try to slow the game down quite a bit.
Cam the man, please don't.
Cam the man. Devin Singletary over A-Rob.
Please don't. No matter what you do not make that choice.
We don't play Buffalo running backs in fantasy football. Friends don't let friends do that.
Well, hold on. I actually don't. I don't hate. I think if someone, if Singletary actually steals this job, I don't think they're going to be as pass heavy as they were last year. I think they are. You see this all the time when a younger quarterback comes in, is a gunslinger. Mahomes was like running all over the place while he was kind of a little bit younger his freshman year. And then they start to kind of pull them back a bit, try to be a little bit more well-rounded. I see them running a bit more, but I did not over A-Rob. Like that is, and so Devin Singletary, Buffalo running back 1, and is that Allen Robinson?
Yeah, Allen Robinson is the wide receiver 1 for Chicago.
Got it. Still,
let's talk NFT about this as well, guys, because this is Devin Singletary. That's your Buffalo team, valued at 15-point card. And not only that, but your RB2 for Buffalo is a 15-point card too, which is Breida. So you're not really getting any kind of discount. As far as that goes.
Was a lot for RB2. Wow.
For that team, yes, 15 points. When you're paying 14 for Atlanta, 15 for Buffalo, doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's how it works sometimes. Wide receiver 1, 19 points for Chicago against probably the best corner in the game, Jalen Ramsey.
So I was on a show earlier this week, and I did say Allen Robinson was my bust pick of the week. This puts things very tough for me because Buffalo Bills, I'm allergic to Buffalo Bills running backs right now. But he gets Jalen Ramsey. We don't know what's going to happen with Andy Dalton, Justin Fields. You can see a quarterback swap middle of the game. Andy Dalton could just go stink it up. It's a tough play. He's still a wide receiver 2 for me, but I just don't think you get wide receiver 1 production, and that's what you're paying for. Here's
an interesting one for me. So Allen Robinson, Chicago receiver 1, is 19 points. Also, Tyson Williams, running back 1, is 19 points. Luckily, I also have both of them in a league, and I'm trying to decide between them, and they are the same point value in NFL, so it carries over. You start.
So quick question for you, because we are saying Chicago wide receiver 1 is a bust week 1. What is his floor week 1 if we are calling him a bust? Because a lot of people are flexing. So is a 10-point, is that a bust? What are we expecting from A-Rob from a fantasy point total?
4 catches for 40 and a touchdown, I think, is his floor. Like, really, I don't think he's a bust. I'm still playing him, I think.
Yeah, for me, I'm not burying him, but you're paying him as a top 10 play, and I think you're probably going to get a top 25. So my floor be a top 25 play. So again, I feel like there's much better value that you can pick if you have that. If you don't have the cards to do that, don't do it. Don't go and just like flat out avoid Allen Robinson. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I just don't expect him to meet value this week.
Let's get to another start sit. Would you double up and start Joe Mixon? That is your Cincinnati RB1, and T. Higgins, your wide receiver 1 for Cincinnati. Or would you swap out Higgins for Josh Jacobs, which is Las Vegas RB1, Deebo Samuel, San Francisco, wide receiver 1, or OBJ, who is your Cleveland wide receiver 1? Dave, hit us with your go-to here.
OBJ is a game time decision, so you're playing with fire. But this is a great point that Chase made earlier. If OBJ doesn't play, you don't get the donut. You're not going to get stuck with 0 points. It would just go to Jarvis Landry. So are you playing Odell or Jarvis Landry in that spot over the original guy was who?
Over T. Higgins, which is your Cincinnati wide receiver 1 against Minnesota. And don't leave out Deebo Samuel here. Deebo against Detroit.
And I was going to bring up Deebo earlier in the conversation about Trey Sermon not being there. Deebo Samuel gets a lot of jet sweeps and action out of the backfield. Don't rule him out of getting 2 or 3 touches out of the backfield today, or some screen passes. I'm still going to go with Higgins. It limits your upside. I'll put it that way. When you play a running back and a receiver on the same team, let's say there's 50 fantasy points coming from the wide receiver running backs. You're not going to see 2 guys blow up very often from the same team. So you're lowering your upside there, because if they score a touchdown, it's probably going to be Higgins or Mixon, not both.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true, Jeremy. Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So when whatever the name is, if the person's active, when they lock the depth charts, they will just move the next person up in there. You won't get a donut.
Love it.
Hey, for that question, if you knew Odell Beckham Jr. was playing, would you play him? Would you pick him?
Yeah.
I have a feeling he is going to come out of the gate, and we're going to see some old school Odell Beckham Jr. even with the injury. And so what I might do in that case, I'm a little bit different here. I would play Cleveland wide receiver 1, Odell Beckham Jr., knowing that Josh Jacobs is playing later on Monday. So if I would go under the assumption Odell Beckham, I expect him to play. I go in the assumption that he's playing, but then you have a backup to pop in there in case he's a surprise inactive.
I like that call. ACLs scare me. So Matt, what I was going to play for you earlier, I was going to play you a song.
Ooh, I love songs.
I want to play you a song real quick.
Oh. Where have all the good men gone, and where are all the
Can you hear this?
I can.
Where's the
So
street
if you are in a tournament, you want to play that hero play. You want to play that guy that's going to stand out in your lineup. That's, if he scores a touchdown, is going to take you all the way to the top. Like we said earlier, you have a chalk play. Everyone's playing. Let's just say Mike Davis. Let's say everyone has Mike Davis and he scores a touchdown. Everyone stays the same. But if you have this hero, this guy, who is it that's going to be the guy that can take you to the top?
Ooh, we're playing sneak attack here. One of the cheaper cards for a receiver. This is kind of your risk it biscuit 8-point card. Washington wide receiver 2, if I'm correct. Wherever De'Ami Brown is for Washington, that's the receiver I'm playing, because I know Fitzmagic loves to throw it deep. I think this North Carolina product could get open a couple times. Might be able to surprise you with that, like Will Fuller roll. Maybe 2 touchdowns today.
Anybody else?
In NFT draft, mine has been the 4-point tight end 2 for the Steelers, Pat Freiermuth. I've been stuck with 4 extra points here and there, and I've been like, you know what? I'm just gonna pop him in there. If he scores a touchdown, then I am sitting happy. Also, if you're looking at tight end 2s, Zach Ertz is only about 8 points, I believe. Philadelphia tight end 2. I've popped him in a few places. I think with a high-scoring game, and he's earned the trust of Ertz so far. I think we're going to be hearing a lot of Ertz to Ertz this season.
Looks like Jeremy's trying to steal my thunder here. Playing Washington wide receiver 3 and 4 bunch because obviously Scary Terry. Oh, Humphreys. Oh, my gosh. So, yeah, Brown as your wide receiver 3. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Maddie, it's the best card ever. I'm only paying 4 points. Dave, help me.
Yeah, so he played Washington wide receiver 3 and 4 a bunch because obviously Scary Terry 1 is the wide receiver 1. It has Humphreys at 2 in the slot. So, yeah, you're thinking Brown at the 3, and that's your home run play. Again, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about who is going to be the home run play. And, like, I like guys like Tyler Boyd and Sterling Shepard if I'm playing cash games on, something. I want someone that's going to win me a tournament, and that's where you go with someone that's going to have the bomb, like no one's playing him except for Matty Daddy, and boom, he scores a touchdown or 2, and he goes all the way straight to the top.
All night long. Dude, truly. So we're talking all these values of cards. We've talked blending real quick because I know we need to repeat this. We're 20 minutes from gameplay.
20 minutes?
20 minutes. Where can we buy these cards? Yeah, these cards go up on Tuesday. So last-ditch effort for people that are listening. Where do they come get these NFT draft cards at?
Hey guys, so I'm posting a link right now in chat. You'll see there's a beautiful Nifty Blocks link that is our current sale right now. Okay, and then as we spoke, the card, not the card value, the amount the pack's going to cost is going up tomorrow. Okay, and it's going to go up to a significant amount. The NFT draft pack's going up to $30. I think your captain pack's going up to $250. I'm speaking under correction, and then your league decks are going down. I think I'm speaking under correction, but for right now, you'll see those packs are at very reduced prices, and they're going up tomorrow night. So it will be smart to maybe stock up on a few, and maybe you can even sell them to a friend. You're like, yo, listen, this pack costs like $200 or $250. I'll sell it for $220. You make some profit. Get stocked up, boys. Get stocked up.
Yeah, maybe I'll stock up and do another card break here soon.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I like that.
Guys, and I still have plenty of promo packs to give away. We're still doing giveaways, things like that. Football has just started. This is the beginning. We are the future of fantasy, and we're bringing the news. You hear too many TDs bringing it, rocking and rolling, baby. A Truly's giving us the price breaks. Dynasty Dave is on point and in the zone all the time, and I'm the Maddie Daddy. We've got about 10 more minutes. We'll do a couple last-minute rapid-fire questions. We'll probably get out of here about 5 minutes early so we can make those changes to our injury lineups, things like that. Any last questions, get them in right now, please.
Yeah, hit us up on Twitter, too. We'll continue to answer questions all the time. Anyone who asks me a question on Twitter, I'll hit them. I'll get them. And if you guys ask for packs, promo packs on Twitter, if we got them, we'll send them over to you. You just send us your
Sideways Bruce, do you get a promo pack for having a sideways picture? Today is your lucky day. Send us a DM. We'll get you hooked up with a promo pack.
Nice.
Thanks for tuning in, buddy. We appreciate the support.
I thought the rule was only upside down pictures get promo packs. Yeah, I think he missed it by a few degrees.
Does Altrui get one too? Because B. Campbell was over his face for about half the time.
Oh, poor Truly.
Oh my gosh, my poor face.
Yeah.
Before we keep going, Truly, kind of fill us in more about your background as well, because we're all the fantasy football side, but you've been with this project since day one and kind of seeing how it's grown. Kind of fill us in just kind of your journey or a little bit about you.
Sure. Yeah, so it wasn't day one necessarily. I think I got in at about day 5 maybe, But yeah, I got in when just as the project got whitelisted, and I actually got in through a Telegram group where they were asking for some advice, and I was like, yeah, I can help. And that's how I got started. Then I started setting up the drops, started helping out with some wax advice as to, what do people look for, how to do things on wax. And I'm pretty much the NFT expert. I'm from South Africa. I have no idea about football yet. Well, I've been doing pretty well, I think. But I do all the wax things, all the NFTs things. I'm pretty well-rounded with NFTs. I started back in February with Atomic Hub. So yeah, I'm. You can call me the NFT guy if you want to. I also have my own stream, which is pretty much NFT draft stream, where I do some marbles. I know we have a lot of marble addicts over there on Twitch. But yeah, if you come through and you get top 10, you get a promo pack, and we've been pretty much doing that for the last 2 months.
Yeah, Truly's been teaching us all about the NFT world. We've been teaching him about the football world. Yeah. It's mutual respect and admiration, and also helping each other out. So always appreciate your POV on this stuff and helping us get acquainted in this world. I'll also say anyone who has not figured out setting up an account on the YouTube channel, on NFT Draft YouTube channel, I just dropped a tutorial where I just walk you through how to set up your account. Super easy, just kind of step by step, follow along with me. And so check that out if you guys want to get started. And join the Discord, because the Discord is going to absolutely be your source for all the information you need, getting help, all of that.
And guys, this is the beginning. By week 3, week 4, we'll have a ranking site. We'll have article drops, all these different things. This is still early in the project, guys. Be patient with us. I think this is a good time to give a shout out to all our mods. NFT Drafter came up with this beautiful concept and has helped us rock and roll. Let's give a shout out to some mods. We talk Ninja. I know T-Wood, what's good, baby? All these different guys. Anybody y'all want to shout out specifically that's helped you along the way?
Yeah, Kazo, honestly. Kazo has been an absolute legend in answering people in general chat. Foster and Copper, those are the other 2 guys. And then your mom usually does the trivias.
Yeah, your mom always is there giving you guys trivia. Foster's been a huge help, always. You guys have really been crushing this constantly, and so we appreciate all the help from all the mods. And they're there responding to questions always. As soon as you guys have questions in there, they are trying to go hit us up. They'll help you out. These guys are really doing all they can to make sure you guys kind of get up to speed and start rocking with us.
I want to give a shout out to Matty Daddy. This guy has been absolutely killing it. Not only that, keeping up with the YouTube, keeping up with the social media. He's got a kiddo on the way. Got a big boy coming in this week. So shout out to you, Matt.
Yeah, man. Super dad over there.
Big day playing tomorrow. We're gonna have our 3rd child of the Riser clan. Pretty pumped about it. Gonna have a little girl. When I'm not here, family's number one. I always put family first. This NFT draft is my family, but when it comes to being a dad, a husband, there's nothing better. I'm sure these guys can attest for it. Without our other significant others, we wouldn't be who we are. So shout out to them who are letting us do this on a Sunday while they're stuck with the kiddos.
Yeah, I'm surprised my son has not joined the show, but I will just apologize for that now. He will join the show at some point because it's this is my time to hang out with him before the games start. But yeah, it's I can't wait, and big congrats to everyone that this is a huge project, a huge undertaking, and to see it kick off, I can't imagine how excited you guys must be.
All right, we got another PPR question, guys. We have Greg Chakirkin, Gaskin, Pittman, Henderson, PPR, that is Miami RB1, Indianapolis wide receiver 1, or Henderson, your sweet spot, Los Angeles RB1. Let's go to Chase. What do we got here, buddy?
Oh, don't start with me.
What? Oof. Don't start with me.
Don't you start with me, man. This is a tough one. I think if you are looking for the safe play, I would run with one of the running backs. I think I have all these guys just ranked back to back to back pretty much. If you're shooting for the stars, you're kind of the underdog. Maybe throw for Pittman, hope that he catches 2 long bomb, and gets you a touchdown or so. I'm curious what you guys think. This is a really, really tough one for me.
I'm gonna make it easier for you. Go with Gaskin. I like Henderson as well. Pittman, it's going to be interesting. He is pretty much the only show. So we're talking about Miami, running back 1, Los Angeles, RB1, and Indianapolis, wide receiver 1. He's the only show in town. So Pittman could be a very interesting play. I would have it ranked Gaskin, Henderson, Pittman. So Miami, RB1, Los Angeles, RB1, and then Indianapolis wide receiver 1.
And Chase, before you get started, so the NFT audience knows the point value of these cards.
Mhm.
Henderson is at 19 points for Los Angeles.
Mhm.
We have a 15-point play in Pittman for Indianapolis, and we have a 17-point play for Gaskin in Miami. So let's hear it, Chase. Where are you going with this? Now that we've given you a little time to ponder, you've thought it through. Hit me with your thoughts here.
With especially with the point plays, I would go Gaskin because he gets you those. He's cheaper than Henderson, and so that is the tiebreaker between those two guys. And so I'm with Dave there. Gaskin on NFT draft is probably the best play out of those three if you guys were picking between them.
Yeah. Gaskin has a lot of intrigue for me because the offseason, it's been kind of a wave where everybody was high on this guy. We saw what he did on a point per game value last year. And now we've heard Malcolm Brown. We've heard Salvin Ahmed. We've heard these different rotational. So does it kind of turn into more of a New England approach, or do we get the Gaskin show in year 2? I'm interested to see.
All Gaskin, no breaks. You'll have to change your other screen too.
Chase, my boy. Let's keep going. Braxton Berrios, wide receiver 5 for the Giants. Will he get one catch?
Probably not. Not this game.
Not unless Shepard gets hurt. No.
Yeah.
Tony would be the
Pretty
guy.
reliable.
Tony's going to be the guy. They're going to have – it's going to be Kenny Galladay, Darius Slayton. Then you got Shepard in there. Then, Berrios he's not going to get in. It'll be Tony.
All right, here's the last one. Before we get out of here, we got 5 minutes. Let's go around the table. You tell me your card. NFT Fantasy Football. Your QB1 for week 1, Dave, will be.
He already played. It might be Dak Prescott. No. So the ones that have not played yet, I'm going to stick with what I said earlier. I said it's going to be a barn burner out there. We're going to go with Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay QB1.
All right, Chase, your quarterback 1 for week 1 will be.
Cannot beat the 16 points of Jalen Ertz. I am as many cards as I have. That's as many lineups as I am knocking him.
Yeah, and good clarification on the chat. He's a Jet, not a Giant. For Berrios, but still no.
Yeah. So that for me, Philadelphia wide receiver 1, 16 points. For Dave, it's Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay. I said wide receiver QB1 for 20 points.
20. And I'm going to go next. I want to be watching football all day, enjoying it. But I'm going to save the yum-yums for Monday night. I'm not talking Las Vegas. I'm talking Baltimore. Your 16-point flavor saver, Mr. Lamar Jackson, and what he's going to do on his feet when it's a 4-point passing touchdown league. Watch out for this guy. I'm pumped to see what he does with no weapons. Maybe it's better.
And I'll throw another guy out there. So if you want to save 2 points, Arizona QB1. Kyler Murray. He's my number 3 quarterback. He's my number 3 quarterback on the week.
Real quick, a little known story. I don't know if anybody caught it. I know I did. Real Reality Fantasy Football came out with an episode. Had a little first-round pick was Kyler Murray for Dave himself. Big moves. Dave's on a reality show, guys. Give him a follow at Dynasty Dorks on social media. Big deal. This is like the next, Touched by an Angel Seinfeld show. So Dave's going places, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go. I appreciate that. Yeah.
So I got my QBs as well.
Get it for me, Curly. Hit me with it, baby.
I'm going for the basic ones. You're going to of course. Well, I'm going for Mr. Mahomes.
Whoa!
All right, and then I'm going for Tom Brady as well. I got Tom Brady as well. I got him into my pick just before the lineup, before the closeout.
All right.
Tom Brady was a smash spot for sure.
379, 369, 79.
Yeah, anybody playing against Dallas, you need to think very highly about putting them in your lineup. Anyone that's playing against the Dallas Cowboys this year.
Yeah.
RB1 for week 1 is Dave.
Alvin Kamara, New Orleans Saints, RB1.
Chase.
Yep. RB1, Alvin Kamara, I agree.
All right. Matty Daddy's going to go Carolina, raise up, RB1, 20 points. We're really not doing much here. It's just top-tier RBs. Truly, you have anything for us right here, baby?
Yeah, I think I got Christian McCaffrey just as a basic RB1. He's an RB1, right? Just to be sure. Okay, Christian McCaffrey. I got him in. Okay, cool. I got Christian McCaffrey.
Receivers, let's go. Wide receiver 1 for week 1. Dave?
Green Bay Packers wide receiver 1. Go with my quarterback.
Ooh, that stack. If you want more stacks.
Marcus Lattimore is questionable to play.
Oh yeah.
Dave, go ahead, Chase. My bad.
I was just going to call mine.
Go for it, baby.
Saving the 1 point, going down to 19-point play. Atlanta, wide receiver 1, Calvin Ridley against the Eagles. Again, barn burner. If you wanted to, I definitely have QB1, Philadelphia, QB1, Atlanta, wide receiver 1, Atlanta. I think that is absolutely a stack that I don't mind playing.
I love that. We had a question earlier, Robbie Anderson or Devonta Smith. Robbie Anderson for me.
Same. I'm excited to see Tennessee's receivers. I'm excited to see Brown. I'm excited to see Julio. I want to see how much this offense gets turned up. It'll be an interesting occasion. Definitely interested in all these shootouts. Minnesota's receivers against Cincinnati. So many stacks of receivers that could put up top 10 numbers. And then you got your Hills, you got your Adams, you got these Green Bay receivers, Kansas City, all sorts of yum-yums. But truly, who is your wide receiver 1? Is there one, or are you playing it safe with those top-tier talent?
No, I did choose a wide receiver 1. I just can't get on his name. I can't get on his name. It's something with a D.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Ooh.
Devonta Adams.
There we go. I got
yeah, he's with you, Dave. And then I'll also say tight end 1, Kansas City, afternoon games. The way to attack the Browns is through the middle of the field. I can see him getting peppered. It's if you want to pay up for the 20 points to get Kansas City tight end 1, I definitely think this is a good week to do it.
I'll go Baltimore tight end 1. Plays tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
See a little bit of money.
Yep.
Love it. I'm going Waller the Baller, tight end 1 for Las Vegas. That seems sweet as sugar, baby. I'm looking out for Los Angeles tight end 1. That's Tyler Higbee. I'm also looking out for Seattle's tight end 1 at 8 points, Gerald Everett. 2 guys that are very intriguing. Might not boom right off the bat, but could be streamers down the road. Truly hit me with the tight end, baby.
I think I was going to go for the New York Giants tight end, but that's just because there's a lot of points.
Yeah.
I can see it. A little takedown. Kyle Rudolph, I believe, right?
It's going to be Kyle Rudolph. I don't think Caden Smith gets the 1 spot. He was limited this week, so Kyle Rudolph.
All right, guys. It's time to go.
Go watch a game, please. That's all we can ask. If you don't know football, go watch a game. Pick a player. Yeah.
Subscribe to the NFT.io on YouTube, and you need to make sure that you NFTDRAFT.io, and then make sure that you hit the bell so anytime we have a video come up that you get notified right away.
Guys, we've done it. 2 hours, start sits, NFT advice. We've talked packs, how to get them, captain's packs, all sorts of yum.
Hey, breaking news. Swift expected to play limited role. Jamal Williams is starting. Tyler hit it too.
Wow.
Woo! Dude.
That's
a lot of RB news in the San Francisco game.
One more question and we're getting out of here. OBJ or Singletary? Dave.
OBJ. Take that.
OBJ.
Receiver 1.
Easy. OBJ.
True.
No idea.
OBJ for me, guys. We're getting out of here. Till next time, NFTDRAFT.io. Appreciate you. We'll see you later.